International Women's Day is March 8th, and to celebrate, the University of North Florida is hosting a day-long event featuring venture capital opportunities for women entrepreneurs. Joining us for a closer look is Christine Caven, organizer of the PS27 Female Founders Forum. Hey, Christine.
Hey, Anne. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on the program. So what is the Female Founders Forum?
Yeah, so the Female Founders Forum is a program that started at our office at PS27 Ventures. We're a venture capital fund, and we were looking at companies that wanted investment, and we weren't seeing pitches that were coming from women. So this started with a small group at our office and has now grown to over 300 women that gather at the University of North Florida to celebrate International Women's Day. And we offer the opportunity for women to come out, share their stories as entrepreneurs, inspire the next generation of students to become entrepreneurs, and also there's some cash in the game as well for the founders that pitch on stage during our Shark Tank pitch competition.
That's awesome. And so what is PS27 Ventures itself? That's like a venture capital company?
Yeah, so we are here in Jacksonville. We're a venture capital company, and we invest in early stage entrepreneurs. So our typical check size is between $250,000 up to $1 million. And we see deal flow 365 days a year from entrepreneurs who are inspiring the next generation of companies. Specifically, we like to invest in fintech companies, health tech companies, e-commerce, as well as companies that are focused on sustainability. And we've been doing that for about 10 years now in Jacksonville.
But the Female Founders Forum is specifically focused on women and local entrepreneurs from Jacksonville?
Yeah, so we highlight local women from Jacksonville. We actually are doing a She Kept Going panel featuring 3 local entrepreneurs, Megan Hayward, D'Amica Jackson, and Rebecca Smith. And they're going to be sharing their stories about starting their companies right here in Jacksonville. And in addition to that, we also highlight entrepreneurs from across the country. Our keynote speaker this year is the founder of Care.com, Shelia Marcelo. She's also launching a brand new company that's focused on AI, and it's a virtual assistant for moms and other home caretakers. And it's going to be a really exciting conversation. This is the first AI keynote that's happening here in Jacksonville by a female entrepreneur. And, we're just really excited to bring that perspective to the local Jacksonville community.
She's a really extraordinary entrepreneur too. Her own personal story is really interesting, but Care.com was this kind of online marketplace where you could get childcare, you could get care for your seniors in your life, or your pets even. And so she also needed, though, capital to kind of get that kickstarted.
Yeah, absolutely. Every founder not only needs a team, they also need investors to help them bring their idea to market. And Shelia is one of the few women in the country that have ever taken a company all the way from founder to IPO. So now she's a second-time founder, starting her next venture. And what we want to do with the Female Founders Forum is to inspire the room of budding entrepreneurs to think big and take their ideas to market the way that Shelia did.
And so let's talk about the money, because there is a live pitch competition. That must be pretty exciting. How does that work?
Yeah, so we host applications for founders from across the country to apply to pitch. We had over 160 women apply for this year's pitch competition. And the top 6 companies, they were just announced this morning, they're going to pitch live on stage for a $250,000 investment. So you'll see 5-minute pitches from each of these female founders in different industries, and then they go home with a big check. And if you were to tell me we were doing this 9 years ago when we started the program, I honestly wouldn't be able to believe it, but it's fantastic that we're actually able to put the capital behind these female founders. Last year was the first year that we added the pitch competition element, and Jacksonville loves it. The audience loves it. They get to hear different ideas. They get to engage with these founders, and really it's an opportunity for PS27 to invest in these women entrepreneurs. So after the pitch competition is over, they come back and they work with our team side by side. We go through due diligence because it is a venture capital investment. And then they move on to our PS27 process of working with our team, going through sales calls and building their business to scale. And you're actually going to hear this year from last year's pitch competition winner. She's with a company called Kadea, and she's going to share a little bit of her story at the event as well.
And it's not just a question of money, right? I mean, there is a need for support, for training, for further education about risks and pitfalls and problems that people can encounter. So how does that interface work after the award?
Yeah, so after the award, our due diligence process is very intense. So we do a financial review. We do what's called a 4-hour workout at PS27, where we take their entire team, our entire team, we set aside 4 hours of our day, and we ask each other questions. Where is the company at today? Why is the founder doing this? What do they believe in that's really driving the company? And who do they have on their team to achieve their goals? And also, what are their weaknesses? What areas can PS27 help grow their company side by side? And then once the investment is done, they're assigned a team captain from PS27 to help them on a weekly basis. They call checkpoints with us anytime that something comes up, as things always do in entrepreneurship.
Very, very briefly, where can people get information?
Yes, so there's a handful of tickets left. It's ps27foundation.org, and that's where you can learn about the speakers and grab tickets.
Christina Caven, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And that's our program. Join us again